8,705 pounds, a 278 DS Chaparral living room super slide, bedroom slide out here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And this one has a couple significant glitches. We're going to talk about those first before we go on, because one thing we do here at Haylett RV is we represent our inventory fairly and honestly. Because you folks work hard for your money, we respect that because we work hard and fair for ours, and we've all been on the bad side of getting duped some point, and we don't want that to happen. So we're gonna circle back to this on the inside, but first thing I want to point out here is the slide floor right here. It looks like this bead seam broke, and what's happened is a little bit of water, as it has rained on the outside of the RV, water has wicked inward and it's gotten up in that crack, and it has slowly sucked up and wicked into the wall about here. The wall's not soft and spongy. It's not the end of the world kind of thing, but you can see some mold spores on the interior wall panel, and there are three specific different areas I want to zero in on where you can see that sort of activity taking place. Area number 2 is the rear section of the super slide. If you take a look, you can see that the slide floor has sagged slightly, and kind of the same thing. That has allowed a little bit of water to wick its way in there. So the question on these slides, what can you do? Well, basically a simple piece of like L bracketing or lashing could close that up. And the natural question then is, what kind of sleazy dealer are you that you're not taking care of these things? And that's a very natural question to answer, or to ask. But this is not an RV that we own. This is one that we're selling on consignment. We can't perform repairs that the owner does not want us to repair. So the point here is, can we do things about this, or could an owner do things about this? Yes. Is it current? Is it still happening right now? Yes. So you need to be aware of that, and that's what we do here at Haylett RV. Again, we try to eliminate the sleaze factor and educate you so that you know what you're getting into. Area number 3 is extremely minor, but as long as we're doing this, let's do it right. It looks like at some point the marker cap or the seal, or maybe a little crack, something took place back here, and a little bit of water has snuck in through the wall here. And again, there's not a big soft spot in the walls and the floor or anything like that, but you can see a couple of what looks like braille bumps on the interior wall panels behind the sofa. We actually pulled the sofa out to see it, because when the RV's in display mode, you can't see that. That's how in-depth and detailed we go with this. So area number 1, the bedroom slide. You can see a couple little braille bumps. I'm trying to get some light on it so you can see it. There you go. You might be able to see a little bit of that. And again, guys, this is how minor it is. I'm having trouble getting it to even show up on camera so that you can visibly see it. But we are brutally honest about what we represent here at our store. Area number 2, the back of the super slide. Once again, a little bit of the same thing. Some water has wicked its way up through the wall panels and created some mold spore patches here. But again, the walls are not soft, spongy, and the flooring similarly does not seem to be suffering from major issues. Now, area number 3, again, you can't really see in here because the sofa is in place. We actually had to drag this whole thing out of here to get to it, and it is exceptionally minor, but it's there, and you deserve to know about it. If these things are disqualifiers for you, ladies and gentlemen, understand that obviously we fully get it. We respect that and we understand, and that's why we talk about this first. If you think that this RV would still be worth considering for the right money, then please enjoy the rest of the video tour here, because there's a lot of good with this camper. It's not just bad news, but I prefer to get that out of the way, because if it's going to be a deal breaker, let's both find out about it now instead of 10 minutes from now, am I right? When we got our slide out closed, in travel mode or storage mode here, you can get through the entirety of the living room. You can really get the kitchen packed up very nicely. But unless you're willing to be like a cat burglar sneaking through an air vent in some kind of Hollywood action flick, you're going to have to kind of climb over the kitchen and get up to the bed and bathroom. Other than that, though, she's super travel friendly. So if you're still with us, there's a lot of good going on with this RV. There's way more good than not good. The ceiling fan up here giving us some extra airflow, and Chaparrals used to do these big skylights above the living room area to let in a lot of extra light. We do have central air, and they are running cabinet ducted heating in this, which means you don't have heat vents in the floor collecting dirt and debris. Now, this big full wall rear sofa, that cool little floating ottoman that's on wheels, and this double theater recliner right here, that is aftermarket stuff. That is not original furniture that somebody went through and updated and upgraded, and it matches the decor very nicely. It's obvious that this is not original RV furniture, but it works very nicely within the RV. Now, all the windows you're going to see here, with the exception of these little toothpick sofa side windows, they will all open for airflow. And generally speaking, this thing needs someone just to come through with a something just to knock down some cobwebs, because the RV hasn't been used recently, and it needs a hose bath on the outside, and then in addition to the obvious things I've already pointed out. Anyway, but for general conditioning, that's all we're talking about here. It's overall, inside, I mean, it's in good shape. It just had a couple little glitches there. The cabinetry here, it's all pocket screwed to hold together for, if you're going to travel instead of just park camp. And you can see that you've got hardwood cabinet door frames and hardwood doors on your upper areas. Now, this was built before everyone felt the need to have like these 40, 50-inch flat screen TVs here. So the entertainment center is minimal, but frankly, with a swing arm TV mount, you could still put a very generous, 30 to maybe 40-inch diagonal TV in there, something like that. Refrigerator's 8 cubic feet, which was very uncommon for fifth wheels made during this era right here. And this kitchen actually has a surprising amount of storage. Starting kind of up top here, you can see as we work our way around from these overhead cabinets down through the pantry to the bottom, there is no shortage of storage space and no shortage of storage. I kind of like that there. That kitchen breeze window right there is a nice touch as well. And the amount of total prep space is slick, but also the fact that, like a lot of modern Coachmans, this is kind of where it all came from. Like these thermofoil countertops, these sealed edge countertops, they're used all over the marketplace now. Jayco uses them, Forest River, Keystone. It started with Coachman. Coachman's been doing this for over 50 years. They've got a lot of experience putting these things together. Now, the bedroom and bathroom arrangement is a little irregular, and this RV was built during what I call a transitional time in RV production, where more and more people were wanting private bedrooms and not having the, like the sink and the shower visible in the bedroom in what's called a split master bath. Well, this is kind of the in-between phase. Now, you do have a privacy curtain here, like the older style, but you do have a full private bathroom here that we'll look at in a second. So this is a 60 by 80 queen right here. You've got your dual side breeze windows up in the bed. I did notice that pleated shade there, the string was popped. That just needs to get restrung. And there's actually pretty decent storage in this thing, all things considered. Starting with the dresser down here across from the bed. You'll see that opens right up. And the whole front wall of this thing is just a lot of storage capacity, so that this, really is going to be good for those extended stays and things like that. Now, again, we've got the private bathroom area here, and I've got no problem standing in that shower, because you notice that even though the roof tapers down here in the bedroom, the roof is at its apex here in the bathroom. So the bathroom's at the tallest part of the fifth wheel, so it's very tall person comfortable. Big corner shower, lots of legroom in front of that porcelain foot flush stool. So once again, there's a lot of good stuff happening. Although this thing needs just a simple hose and brush bath badly, overall, the exterior skin of it, the appearance of it's not bad once you get past that initial surface layer. It's got a decent pass-through storage, pretty common size for something made during this era. Pass-through storages seem to have gotten larger and larger over the years. I've always liked it when you get these big cavernous front cavities where the pass-through and the front area actually kind of bleed in together. And another thing, not only did this have a little bit bigger refrigerator than most fifth wheels of this size and category during this time period, it also had a bigger water heater. It had it's a mid-size fifth wheel with a big-size water heater, a 10-gallon vessel, which is kind of cool. We'll get up on the roof in a little bit here. The nose cap. You can kind of see that interesting little design of it. That's a cutaway nose cap so that your 6.5-foot beds can achieve a little bit sharper turn without the need of a slider hitch. Underbelly is enclosed and heated, and it might kind of spook some folks that you can see that this panel here is kind of jihad a little bit, but part of that is for winterization reasons. All your hookups are here in one spot, and that is a black tank flush in the upper left. I have not looked at the tires. We'll do this together because it looks like maybe it was field stored, but really the tires don't look bad. I have not looked at the manufacturing date on those, however, so I'm not sure exactly how old those tires are. Like right here, you can see that the wall line overlaps with the floor line. But as we come around, as I mentioned before, this is item number 2. You can see that it actually has sagged a little bit right here. So again, I've talked all about that. I'm not going to beat that horse to death. You know what I just realized looking at this? I missed this before. This is a slide open cargo bike rack bumper. So that will actually slide open about 2.5 to 3 feet to make it easy to, you know, bring some bikes along or anything like that. You don't have to weld on a special receiver hitch or anything of that nature here. Take one little look down the door side here. Now that power awning, it's interesting. There's actually some manual awning cleats I see sitting in the underbelly. But I don't believe they're from this camper. I'm not really sure where they came from because there's no holes in the side of this trailer where like a manual awning used to be mounted. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Anyway, let's take a hop up top. Now the roof, you don't have to be an RV nerd like me. The roof needs cleaned pretty significantly, as does the roof of this slide right here. It looks like that had maybe some of those little whirly-gig things that fall off of trees that spin around and they're fun to play with as a kid that may be collected up along that line right there. But overall, the roof membrane itself doesn't look bad. I do see here where the AC vent, it has cracked. I don't know if that was just from weather exposure or if something bumped it, because there's no damage along the roof line where something might have hit it. So I think that might just be cold cracking. And all of the seals actually still look factory original. And they don't look bad. They don't look like they're cracking or splitting or anything like that. Obviously, we got our Max Air covers here for the vents in the bathroom and bedroom areas, which is nice for some rainy day airflow. But, I mean, I've certainly seen worse roofs. It just needs a good bath up here. So short of that, give us a call. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.